Howdy folks, I'm Karen Thompson, the Cowgirl Attorney, and today we answer the question, how do I get back my security deposit? It is so easy for the landlord to wrongfully withhold your security deposit and act like it's all your fault. That's why this is the #1 legal question for renters. In part 1 of my video consultation on security deposits, we discussed the steps you should take to make sure you get back your fair share of the security deposit, and what proof the landlord has to give you about withholding your money for damages or repairs. In part 2, I tell you how to sue the landlord and win back 3 times the amount of your deposit that the landlord wrongfully withheld, plus $100, plus your court costs. Alright, step 1. Give written notice of your intent not to renew your lease before you move out. Check your lease to determine how many days in advance you must provide notice. Most leases require at least 30 days notice. Keep a copy for yourself in case you need it later as evidence in court. Step 2. Give written notice of your forwarding address as soon as you know what it is. You can do it in the same notice as your intent not to renew, or separately at a later time. The sooner you give the landlord your forwarding address, the sooner you will get your money back. Texas law requires the landlord to give you your deposit back 30 days after you give him a written forwarding address. By sending your written notice, you start the clock ticking on that 30 days. Heads up! The forwarding address doesn't have to be your address. It can be a friend's or relative's place or anywhere that someone can send you mail. But I recommend that you leave a local forwarding address. Get a post office box if you have to. If a greedy landlord thinks you are leaving town, he might be tempted to keep your deposit. Step 3. Do a walkthrough with the landlord right before you move out. I recommend that you take photographs in case later you need to prove that you left the rental in good condition. Hopefully you took pictures when you moved in too to use for comparison. Texas law says you are not responsible for damage caused by normal wear and tear. For example, you might have to pay to clean the carpet after living there a year, but under normal conditions you wouldn't have to replace it. Ask the landlord if there are any damages that he plans to charge you for. You have the right to try to fix things yourself to avoid repair costs and save money. But I recommend that you discuss this with the landlord and get his written agreement that he won't charge you before you make any repairs. If you have a Texas Apartment Association lease, it really covers their behind on this point. It says in paragraph 40, "Our representative has no authority to bind or limit us regarding deductions for repairs, damages, or charges. Any statement or estimates by us or our representatives are subject to our correction, modification, or disapproval before final refunding or accounting." Even though this language might make you feel like the inspection is a waste of time, I still recommend that you take detailed notes and photos. The landlord is much less likely to try to wrongfully withhold your security deposit later if he knows you are on top of it and watching his every move. Step 4. Pay your last month's rent. Don't even think about using your security deposit as rent for the last month of your lease, because the landlord can sue you for 3 times the amount of the unpaid rent plus attorney fees. Plus, your landlord may file a negative credit history that will make it harder for you to rent another apartment. It's a lot safer to wait and sue the landlord if he illegally keeps your security deposit. Step 5. Wait 30 days. If your landlord doesn't return your full security deposit, he has to provide you with an itemized list of deductions. Step 6. Send a demand letter for the return of your security deposit if the landlord still hasn't sent you anything. Include your forwarding address again and tell the landlord that you will seek legal remedies if he does not refund your security deposit. I recommend that you also ask the landlord to send you any invoices or photographs showing work done to the rental since you moved out. Wait 10 days to see if the landlord responds. If he doesn't respond, or you think his response is unreasonable, Step 7. File a lawsuit to recover your security deposit. Texas law allows you to recover $100, 3 times the amount of the security deposit wrongfully withheld, court costs, and attorney's fees if you use an attorney. If it turns out you need to sue your landlord for the return of your security deposit, see Part 2. Alright folks, this is Karen Thompson, the Cowgirl Attorney, reminding you to know your rights and save your money.